Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. And good evening, all of you. I think I have a lot to share with you, but because of time, I will quickly run over my program and then see how we can go in. Without wasting much time, I am going to speak about 4 things tonight. One of them is I'm just going to give you a brief history about my organization, which is Queer Youth Uganda. The second one is we will be talking a little bit about the difficulties we are facing during our work back home in Uganda. The third one is what can the global movement do upon supporting our work back home in Uganda. And then the last thing is I will be touching a little bit about the future of the LGBT rights. Basically, what I just wanted to say, like I said, I will run faster. Queer Youth Uganda was formed in 2006, and this was as a result of, there was a lot of family rejection back home in Uganda. There was a lot of bullying from schools once people get to know that you are gay or lesbian or trans or intersex. There was also many young people were dying of HIV/AIDS, and that was the time when people were so much scared of going to any hospital for any medical checkup, because once you go to hospital for any medical checkup, they will be asking you, where is your girlfriend, if you are a man? If you're a woman, they will be asking you, where is your boyfriend? Because the idea was to take the test of the two of you, so that if they find that you are positive, then both of you can go actually in for any medication if it is there. But at that time, it was so difficult, so people were scared so much of going for any medication at all. And then, at the end of the day, many people were dying. At the age of 18, 20, 25, someone is already dying of HIV/AIDS. And it was so difficult for us to handle. Sometimes you cannot even take this person for any burial anywhere, because even the families actually do not want to know who are they. And then you get stuck with the body. It's one reason we formed this organization, to make sure that at least we will help one another in terms of medication, treatment, and testing and counseling. When we formed this organization, we were actually a group of 4 people only. And we didn't know even how to run an organization, what does it require, because most of us are school dropout. We never studied so much simply because parents actually backed out of that. How can you educate a gay or a lesbian? But because of the touch, the feelings we had in us, and the suffering we could see, how people are suffering, sleeping in the streets, being left there, and then you die at the age of 18, 20, we were forced to start something. Our main focus around that time, it was completely outside Kampala. Because within Kampala, we had SMAC and some few organizations who could at least cater providing information. But outside Kampala, it was a problem, because they don't even have information, they don't even know who is HIV, who is the LGBTI person, who do you have to talk to in case you have a problem, in case you are arrested, who can you call? All this information was not there. So our focus was outside Kampala. It's a youth-based organization. Upon realizing that a lot were sleeping in the streets, people went into sex work for you to survive. You rather use your body to find living, to find life, to find accommodation. So in that case, we are like, no, the young people cannot end up like this. We should do something to support one another. And then we say it should be a youth organization. In 2008, we became part of Arfasel Undum. I'm sure most of you know. How we met Arfasel Undum, I cannot remember now. But all over the sudden, we became part of Arfasel Undum. Arfasel came to Uganda. We worked with Arfasel for a project called Crossing Borders. They invited us to come to Sweden first time. Boarding a plane first time. It was so exciting. But we don't know what are we going to do in Sweden. Then we came to Sweden. But that trip helped us a lot. We took a lot of small courses around here and there. We understood actually how to run our organization when you start up. We understood what is the objective of the organization, what is the mission and the vision of this organization, how will you achieve this. It was through that trip. Along the way, in 2009, when we started now enjoying our work, the law came in. How many of you know anti-homosexuality law? God. It came in, and all what we had in that shortest period possible went down. We are all scared. We don't know where to start from. Families actually now starting to hate us more. There was a lot of rejection around around the community itself. If people just know you, we are prone to any mob justice. What do we need to do? All the materials we worked on from 2006 to 2008, we had to ban it because the law was very clear and said, if we get any evidence like this written, that is promotion, and you go in for 7 years. Just imagine me gay. What will I do in prison? It was difficult. So what we did, we had to ban all the information. Just imagine. This is just something we got, but we don't even know what to do the next. We could not even have the backups, something like we don't even know what is the backup. It was not there. We banned the information. In 2014, the bill became a law. It was passed, and eventually we said, no, this is not good. We worked very closely with allies around the corner, different embassies, including the Swedish, Norwegian, Danish, and the rest. We fought day and night until the law was brought down by the Constitutional Court. We also got so much involved working at advocacy level from UN sessions, African Commission on Human and People's Rights. Okay, they would just tell us, you go, but I don't know what to say when I go there. All what I can do when you give me a statement, I will read bravely, because I have the feeling that it's only a space I have. And then at the end of the day, you get empowered. Few times as it went, we created jobs for ourselves. Remember, I don't have a job. We are not educated. Nobody in our group is educated. 14 people got jobs in my organization. This should have been good for Ugandan government, that it's better to have job creators than job seekers. But as time went on, the government comes in and then start closing up the small organizations. Why? Because it's LGBT organization. As per now, from 4 people, we have grown up to 316 members across the country. We have 14 solidarity groups where our members meet on a weekly basis, discuss, share experiences. If there is a problem, who can we call? Where are referrals? Which hospital can we work with? How can I go there? Who pays this? All that information is in place. Then we created more allies. Like an example, I told you, Arfasel Undum. How many knows Arfasel Undum here? Yes, Arfasel Undum. We have a dream. LGBT Denmark. How do I pronounce this name? Mr. How do I call this? Yes, Mr. This is all about creating allies. And through this, we are able to win battles, bringing the laws down. Our partners are always twittering, working on statements against countries with bad laws. The programs we have advocacy. We do advocacy both internationally, locally, and regionally. And how do we do it? One reason is the way I am here now. When I speak to you, you pick 1 or 2, 3 words. The next time I receive an email, which says, you did something good. We want you to do this. Well, how do we do it? We do human rights awareness programs in two different ways. Once, we train human rights defenders in those small districts we have members. Two, we continue with raising awareness as far as the human rights aspect is concerned. You should know what belongs to you, when do you have to talk, and why should you talk, what rights do you have, and if you have a right, in case someone interferes, who do you call, how do you call, what do you need? All this information is what we do around human rights awareness. The other one, we also train on HIV/AIDS education programs. We train peer educators who help us now. Because normally people are scared of going to hospital because doctors will ask you a lot of questions. But if you go to a peer educator will take you through, and then if the peer educator knows that probably this needs a referral, then the peer educator will take you where you're supposed to go. And then you get treatment without anyone asking you questions here and there. And then, of course, still, HIV/AIDS awareness information must be passed to people on a daily basis because it's a phenomenon. Then we do capacity building in different ways. We train members on how to start up a small business. And if you start up a small business, how can you handle your books? And if you can handle your books, how will you know whether you have a deficit or a gain? And then if you have, do you have a bank account? How do you save? All these kind of things, we do it. And then also we train them in terms of organization development. In case I am not there tomorrow, I'm already tired. I'm retiring tomorrow. If I retire, who can replace me? This is all under organization development. Economic empowerment. Since a lot of them are not educated, they cannot get jobs. And even those who can get jobs, they cannot work. They can be fired simply because of their sex orientation and gender identity. What else? Do something. Start up a salon if you can. But you need to have skills. And our role here is to train you to have those skills on how to start a small business. It could be baking cakes, decorating. On a daily basis, people have birthdays. On the other days, people want to celebrate, all these kind of things. We do it. Difficulties we are facing. One of them, of course, conservative society. This is how the church fuels. When a church speaks, everybody believes in the church. I am talking about when the fundamentalists came from the US to preach against hate crime, hate race. And then when we are speaking, they are saying, it's people from Western world who come to the country to recruit young people to become gay. So in that case, when a church leader speaks, everybody listens. And people believe in Christianity. And you cannot say anything. I'm talking about Pastor Sempa, Pastor Male, and others. Lack of technical support. I already said before, we are not educated. We have never been to any university. Even if you have gone to the university, they will chuck you once they know you are gay, because they believe you being gay, you can spread around you, and everyone around you becomes gay. So once people get to know that you are gay, you are fired. Once you are fired, where will you go? You are not trained. You don't have any skill for management. You don't have any skill for anything. At the end of the day, it's a challenge for us because we cannot have a sustainable organization around there. Political arena. This is where the politicians now come in. The politicians come in. When the politicians come, they bring laws against homosexuality. They pass it. At the end of the day, you have no space. It becomes a law. All what you have achieved is gone. Attack from the state machineries. Look at me. I was looking so good, but now I have scars everywhere. See? The teeth is broken already twice. Up here, these are all attacks because people know me as an activist. They know me as a defender. So any time of the day, they can always attack me, either on the street or anywhere. I have been warned that I have less time going on. Arrest from the police. Once the police gets to know, anybody gets to know that you are gay or lesbian or what, they will just say that one is gay. And you can be arrested with slaps anywhere. Everybody is kicking you. That is all humiliation before anyone. The future. Let me just say something small. On a positive note, I could see the young generation is coming up. People are getting more brave to speak, to say whatever they want to say, simply because we know that the generation is growing. Even after us, there will be others to replace us. I think that is good for me. What I've seen, apparently, that is really good. There is also a lot of visibility now. Before, people were scared. They were so scared. But now people are actually coming out and say, I am also gay, I'm lesbian, I'm trans. Whatever you want, do whatever you want. Please don't touch me. Or, who gives you a right? You know, people, they are visible. Compared to before, no, when you mention like this, I run the other side. You know, from that side, I'm this side. But now there is that visibility. On a bad note, people have been attacked constantly. Then through those attacks, you get scared because your future is not certain. You are not sure whether you can survive tomorrow or no. Just imagine if you have been attacked today and then you survive. What about tomorrow? You could also be kidnapped if they kidnap you, especially by the state machinery. How sure are you? So the life is not certain. The government sees LGBT persons as the traitors because they believe the money comes from the Western world. I travel every day. I look for money. Nobody is giving me money. But in my country, they are saying the money comes from Western world. I have looked for that money. Now, please, if you know where the money is, can you show me? Lastly, life is very uncertain. There is no certainty about life because as a government should be responsible for everybody's life as per the law. But in this case, there's a lot of segregation. You're not sure about it tomorrow. You are beaten today. The next day, you are beaten in a taxi. The other day, you are beaten in the bar. Or the other time, you are beaten in a restaurant. Where will you end life? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I would love to listen for you like for days. You're such an inspiration, and I think that the audience agree with me on that. Maybe we can give you another applause. Thank you. And of course, my first question would be, where do you get all this courage from?
I get the courage simply because I am gay. The life belongs to me. Doesn't belong to anybody. I am fighting for my own future. And if I don't, who will fight for it? I have to continue fighting until I receive what I expect. Because the goal is we want to have LGBT persons in Uganda liberated. Once I don't see that, I have not done anything. That is where the energy comes from.
But when you like wake up in the morning and trying to be ready for a new day, what is like the first thing you think about? Is it like, do you have some, I don't know, I need like some kind of help here because I'm in that kind of struggle also sometimes. I wake up as an activist and trying to, but I don't know, I miss the last courage, you know what I mean? The last strength. Do you have some kind of...
The first thing what comes in my mind when I wake up in my bed, first I run to the bathroom.
Oh, you're freshening yourself up.
And then I come back, I do my makeup, look good. Secondly, what is my security tactics for the day? Before I open the door, because I'm not sure who is out there. Security begins first in you. And then the rest can follow.
All right. I will do that one tomorrow when I wake up. Thank you.
Please.
And I have one more question for you. What are the most urgent questions, the urgent questions for the LGBTI community to tackle for you and for us here in Sweden, you think?
I think the first question someone should ask is one, target. How does homosexual look like? Mm-hmm. Yes, if I'm homosexual, is it written in my face? How many of you see? If you see, raise your hand. Do you see the word homosexual here? If you don't see, that should be the first question you should target, and someone should give you an answer.